Hi, Zoe here, welcome back to my channel. Tonight I have another in my Stretch That Collection series. This is layout number 9. I am quietly stunned at how many layouts I'm actually managing with this pad. I'm actually rather curious myself to see how far I get with it. But nonetheless, you can see I've pulled out some punches here. I just have a 1/2 inch circle and a 1 inch circle, and I'm punching out all of the alphas in this alphabet page. And I'm also going to punch some scraps from the other ones and also some vellum circles with the same 2 punches. I'm just separating them out by size here so that once I start to use them on my layout, it's just a little bit easier to grab the size I need. Excuse me. So I've pulled, oh no, I've pulled this photo of myself and my daughter. I took it maybe 2 weeks ago in the car, and we were on our way to the zoo, I think. I'm pretty sure we were on our way to the zoo, but I really liked the photo. So I've pulled this aqua cardstock, I think it's American Crafts cardstock, from my stash, and I'm just going to coat it with a really messy layer of white acrylic paint using a palette knife, and I'm keeping it really quite rough around the edges. I don't want anything to be too nice or pretty or, you know, precise. I want to keep it quite painterly, I suppose, quite rough. So I'm just using my palette knife to sort of scrape the paint onto the layout there, and then I'm going to scrape it down just a little bit more so that because I've scraped it so thin, it will be dry instantaneously. It'll be ready to use straight away. So that makes it great for when you're wanting to just carry on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the circles. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to... I hate it when that happens. I am going to trim my paper down by about 1 centimetre on each side, and I'm going to back it onto white cardstock. The reason I did this is because I'm not going to be overly embellishing this layout, so I want to be sure to have something around the edges to make sure the eye is drawn to the centre of the layout rather than sort of floating off to the sides, because I'm going to be layering the circles across sort of like banners. It would tend to make your eye sort of float off the page a little bit, so I'm just using the white cardstock just to draw the eye back in, or at least that's my theory anyway. I may or may not be making any sense. I'm still recovering from the most awful bout of stomach flu that I had this week. So I may or may not be making any sense. I do apologise if I'm not. This month has definitely tried to rain on my parade, I swear. Anyway, you can see I'm just layering the cardstock circles with the vellum circles there, and I've gone ahead and finished that up, and now I'm just going to glue them down. I'm just going to glue a few so you get the idea, and then I'll do it off camera. And you can see I've added some contrasting stitching right across. I did it off camera just because it would have been terminally dull to watch me stick a million circles down. I mean, you get the idea, so that's why I did it that way. So I'm backing my photo onto white cardstock. Again, I just want to make sure that the eye is drawn into the photo rather than sort of floating off the page with the design I've chosen for the background. And this is a really good way of doing it. I'm going to layer it with a glassine bag. That was one of my favourite things to layer behind things, just because I love the texture it gives, and I didn't want to use vellum in this case because I'd already used vellum on the background and it would have felt too vellumy. So I'm just going to stick my photo down on that and trim it to size. And then I have this beautiful dotty tissue paper that I'm also going to use as a layer. Again, because it's black and it's adding in a colour that I don't already have in the layout, it draws the eye into the photo, but I can get away with the black because I am wearing black in the photo, so it's not adding in a completely separate colour, just not one that I'd used in the background, so I'm okay with that. And I'm going to back the whole thing onto some foam. just to give it some nice lift off such a busy background. I really like using circles this way. I think it adds a huge impact using very little paper. It's a great way to use up scraps or a 6x6 pad to get way more mileage than you would expect from the paper, because you would think it's a full, patterned paper. You wouldn't necessarily expect that it's come from just a few tiny little pieces. I'm just committing to my photo there, sticking it right down, and I've decided to pull out, I think these are Amy Tangerine. I'm almost certain they are, but I don't want them white because white it wouldn't stand out enough for me. So what I'm going to do is colour them using my Copic markers in a sort of ombre style with pink Copic markers. So I'm just layering them onto wax paper here, just so that I can just double check that yes, they will sort of blend into the background in white, which you can see they do. They're not very visible, they don't pop. I really like them to pop. So I'm just gonna go ahead with my Copic marker and just really no real care and attention, just sort of colouring along the top first and then deepening it and fading it out. I'm going to show you them now. See, they look really pretty, don't they? I think so. And I'm going to commit to those as well. I really love colouring foam. I think it looks, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Just double checking that I didn't want my title elsewhere, apparently. Yeah, I really love colouring in foam with Copic markers. I think it adds a really lovely sort of texture, because it doesn't go smooth, it sort of goes on a little bit wishy-washy. It adds a really beautiful sort of watercolory sort of look to the foam, which I really enjoy. And my lights are making it look like it's not as bold as it is, but you'll see in the photos at the end that it is quite bold. So again, I've printed off my journaling using a typewriter font on my computer and just printed it off onto normal copy paper and running it through my Xyron sticker maker, because I love the way it adds adhesive to the whole thing, so you don't end up with a little bit curling up or a little bit not sticking, which really bums me out. I don't like it at all when it does that. So I tend to prefer to pop them through the sticker maker, and the journaling is just a little bit about what we were up to that day. So I've gone ahead and added a puffy heart from the sticker collection, and I'm going to add the word fun in the rose gold foiled stickers. And because I've added the foil sticker up there, I'm going to add it elsewhere because I'm adding in another colour with that rose gold, so I need to make sure there's a few other points of it, otherwise it'll look just a little bit lost and on its own and a bit ajar, or adrift is what I meant to say, not a jar, adrift by itself there. So I've just added in 3 points of the rose gold in a triangle around my photo, which again leads the eye back in. And I'm just having a quick look through the sticker sheet to see if there's anything else I want to use. I'm just going to pop a few of the florals from the foam, again just to add in another visual triangle around my photo. And I have these puffy stickers from Freckled Fawn, and I'm just going to use a couple of them, just because I can, pretty much. Just to add in an extra little bit of something, nothing too major, and I think that's it. I don't think I do anything else to this layout at all. Adding such a big impact background means that you don't have to do too much else to it. I really like how this one turned out. It's really bright and fun and lots of colour, which is nice. It's good for cheering you up when you're feeling a bit miserable. So let me know what you think down below. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up if you like this video, and I'll be back tomorrow with the next video for you. Thanks for watching. Bye!